أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد اللهم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي آمين يا رب العالمين. عن حذيفة رضي الله عنه قال: كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا حزبه أمر فرغ إلى الصلاة. صدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. In this beautiful short hadith from Hudhayfa ibn Yaman radiallahu anhu says, whenever the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam happened to face any difficulty, he would at once resort to salah. He goes to pray. A lot of Muslims in these days, they don't know about this, because many of those who are stressed and who is not in these days, whenever they try to find some kind of satisfaction or to calm down themselves, they're going into the haram, either the alcohol or drugs or something like that. So thinking that they will forget what is going on in their life, or because of the stress of situation, this and that. But the Prophet ﷺ is teaching us, whenever we face any kind of difficulty, any kind of the challenge, anything that you cannot handle, anything that is worrying to yourself, when you try to find out the best way, so go to pray, not to go to make haram even increase. And so the Prophet ﷺ, in this beautiful hadith, is advising us as Muslims, and of course we have to follow him, because he is our qudwa, he's our role model to follow. And you think that the Prophet ﷺ did not have any challenges and any difficulty in his life, there is no stress, free of stress for Prophet Ali because he was a prophet? No, he faced even more challenges than us, than the ordinary people, regular people. So, but he is teaching that whenever you face something because you need help, and the help does not come in the haram, it will increase sadness. At the moment, maybe until the person is doing that, they feel happy, but later on, they feel miserable. So this hadith is beautiful for all of us, especially in these days where you cannot, avoid the stress in your life. You have to accept it and live like that, but you can control yourself. And of course, you find satisfaction and calmness in the prayer. There is another hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that help us in the same chapter, from Abu Darda radiallahu anhu. He says, whenever a strong wind blow, the Prophet ﷺ would immediately enter the masjid and would not go outside until the wind has stopped. And similarly, the time for the solar or lunar eclipse, the Prophet ﷺ used to go to the masjid and pray, and will not go out until everything is done. In our cases, when there is a blow, when there is a strong rain, we are watching here and there. Nobody thinks about the prayer, or nobody can. So different. We are completely, out of this sunnah or tradition of the Prophet ﷺ, at least to make dua, to pray at your home, if you cannot reach the mosque or so on. So, but when we come to the eclipse, the people want to pray, but they want to watch the moon. Really? The Prophet did not watch the moon, how it's going on. He used to pray until end. Why? Because he was aware. So also because you don't know, is it Qiyam or not? No, we want to see the moon, how it's going, it's a couple seconds, instead of to spend it the prayer. I do remember one time when we used to pray over here. We announced it, we start to pray, and the gentleman was mad because we prolonged the prayer. That was the sunnah. We had to prolong the prayer. He was mad. He left the prayer and he was going to watch the moon. Really? MashaAllah. That's how people are so ignorant. But they blame me. You're too long. We want to see the moon. Okay, why are you coming then? Go watch the moon. Right? Go and watch. It's up to you. So the Prophet ﷺ is teaching us here, because you never know what can happen from that wind, strong wind, from the water, from the weather, from this, from that. So you have to be, even if something happens, The death you can face, but at least you're on the sajda, you're in the prayer, you're reading Quran, you are aware of what's going on, and you are surrendering to yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So another saying of Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, when he was on a journey one day, and on his way, he got the news of the death of his son. You know, they did not go to the areas where there's a drinking, and because they are so sad, and they are even going in the haram. Why Allah took my son, but did not me? It's not going by our wish. He faced this and calamity. He stopped his camel on the road and started praying. He was praying for a long time. He prolonged his prayer, and then he, recited "Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un." We belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To Him is our return. Why? He said, "I have done what Allah has ordered us to do in the Quran Kareem. وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ." Whenever something happens, وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ. Seek Allah's help with patience and salah. You help yourself through the patience and through the salah. You will connect with Allah subhanahu. Because salah is basically sila or connection. You don't want to lose in your life and disconnect yourself from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala whatsoever. Any kind of the calamity you face, you have to connect with Allah because that's how you can find relief. Because you accept the qadr, and qadar Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You accept Allah's decree. Whatever is happening is by His will. Don't we say this in the 6 articles of faith? So we believe in the qadar and qadar, but we don't believe. We believe by our tongue, but when we face those calamities, so then we're completely different people. We don't do that. So that is why it's very important for us to وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ وَإِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ إِلَّا عَلَى الْخَاشِعِينَ. And truly it is indeed hard, except to those who are humble and minded. There is another story of the Prophet ﷺ on hearing the death of the uh, of Abdullah ibn Abbas, actually, the story that when he lost his wife as well, so he fell down to prostrate, and somebody was asking him, why you're doing that, and what is the reason for that. So then he said, our dear Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he is enjoying us, he's ordering us, he's telling us to prostrate in salah, in prayer, whenever a calamity were to befall us, whenever we face some kind of a challenge, whenever calamity befalls us. So we do prostration, sajda to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what calamity can be greater than the death of the Mu'mineen? So when Aisha radiallahu anha died, so he prostrate. And that is the story what he says. So all these are narrations that is supporting us and telling us what they used to do as a companions who were closest followers of Prophet alayhi salatu wasallam. Whenever they face something, they fell down sajda before doing anything, before asking why this, what is the reason. The reason Allah knows only. He sent the angel of death that said they accept it. But not only that, but they fell prostrate on the sajda. So these are very important things to know, especially in these days, because there is no life without stress, and we are facing that on the daily basis. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and pray to Him to help us, to guide us, to make us strong, to seek His help through salah, to prayer, to patience, and to accept His qada and qadr in all the time. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.